Have you ever felt like you're waking up in a world that's rewriting its own rules overnight? Because that's exactly what's happening. Hey, I'm Anthony Hitch, and welcome back to the Unorthodox Playbook. If this is your first time listening, I don't do the traditional, I don't do the predictable. We don't just talk about success. We break down the playbook nobody else is showing you. And today, this very day, we're diving into a story so real, so raw, and so current that by the end of this episode, you'll understand why the world around you is shifting, whether you signed up for it or not. It begins with a quiet race. No starting pistol, no Olympic stadium, just satellites, servers, neural networks, and strategy meetings happening behind closed doors in places like Washington, D.C., Beijing, Moscow, Brussels, and New Delhi. This is the modern arms race, but instead of missiles and metal, it's algorithms and code. In the battlefield, it's invisible because it's digital. Countries around the world have entered what many are calling a new form of warfare, a silent war with massive stakes, the race for artificial intelligence supremacy. It's not about ego. It's not about reputation. It's about survival. Because whoever controls the most advanced AI controls economics, energy, education, medicine, even perception itself. In the 20th century, power was about oil. In the 21st century, it's about data and how intelligently you use it. This moment we're living through has a name now, and it's called AI Nationalism. It's the ideology that for a nation to protect its people, its industries, and its influence, it must build and control its own AI infrastructure. Do not borrow it, not rent it, own it. Because depending on foreign intelligence in a world where machines are making decisions faster than humans, that's not business, that's a liability. So who's leading the charge? No, really, who's really leading the charge? Let's start with the giant that moves in silence but thinks in dynasties. China. Their strategy is a blend of precision, power, and patience. They launched the New Generation Artificial Intelligence Development Plan. Not sure if you heard that. And in 2017, and have poured billions into AI development since. Their end goal? Global AI dominance by 2030. Not just competing, owning the future. They're not just integrating AI into apps and search engines. We're talking about AI in government surveillance, in transportation, in military tactics, even in public behavior scoring. That's not innovation. That's control at scale. Then there's the US. I call it the OG of innovation. Silicon Valley, where disruption was born and funded, but now innovation is a national asset. And AI isn't just a product, it's a defense system. The Pentagon is working with Microsoft, Google, and OpenAI, turning cloud servers into war rooms. The question isn't whether the US is still a global tech leader. It's whether that leadership can survive globalization. Because what happens when the chips come from Taiwan and the data centers sit on foreign soil? It's not just about building AI anymore. It's about securing it. And while the US and China plays chess, Russia's playing poker with a side of cyber warfare. They've made it clear that information is the most dangerous weapon of all. Deepfakes, AI bots, and predictive analytics used not to just inform but destabilize. They're not building to scale. They're building to disrupt. But then there's India, the sleeping tiger. With the youngest digital population on Earth, India is making quiet but powerful moves. AI isn't about war or economy for them. It's about agriculture, education, and public health. It's about leapfrogging centuries of infrastructure in a single decade. While others battle for dominance, India builds for democratize, or they build to democratize. So let's also talk about Europe while we're on this subject. Europe's the philosopher in the room, right? They're pushing for ethical AI, so transparent, explainable, accountable. But here's the paradox: ethics moves slowly, power moves fast. In the future doesn't always wait for regulation to catch up. But let me ask you this: what does any of this have to do with you? You're not head of state. You're not building weapons or training models in secret bunkers. Maybe you're a healthcare executive, a law firm partner, a business owner trying to stay afloat in the flood of digital everything. Here's the hard truth. This race, this AI nationalism, believe it or not, it already affects you. Because if a foreign country builds the best AI diagnostic system and your hospital depends on it, what happens when a conflict breaks out? When will trade be sanctioned? When does access get revoked? You lose time, you lose data, you lose lives. Or, okay, let's say you're in finance. The market insights you're using might be generated by, models trained on foreign data sets. What if that model starts feeding you biased outputs, or worse, deliberate misinformation? See, AI isn't just a tool anymore. It's a dependency. And countries don't want to be dependent because dependency is vulnerability. That's why we're seeing nations investing billions in AI infrastructure, in building sovereign data centers, and in hiring local talent. They're not doing it for bragging rights. They're doing it because they know the next 10 years and beyond will be shaped by who builds faster and smarter. This is no longer a tech trend. It's a sovereignty issue. And the stakes? Climbing. What happens when AI starts writing laws? Controlling defense systems? Making real-time healthcare decisions? You're not just handing over control. You're handing over trust to a machine that someone else programmed, possibly in another language, under another flag, for another agenda. Let's get real for a second. This isn't about fear, it's about clarity. The global race for AI supremacy is here. And while politicians debate, the code is being written. The data is being harvested. The alliances are being made. So where does this leave us? Right now, we're standing at the edge of a cliff, and below us isn't chaos, it's opportunity. But only if we're paying attention. You can't win tomorrow's game with yesterday's strategy. The world is reshuffling the deck, and if you're still playing checkers while the rest are coding chess game engines, then you lose. Which brings us to the core of the Unorthodox Playbook. If you're listening to this, you're not average. You're not trying to play it safe. You're trying to build, grow, and lead in a world that's changing faster than most people can understand. So here's what you do. Start paying attention to where your data lives. Question who's handling the tech you use. Invest in AI literacy, because you don't need to be a coder, but you sure need to be competent. Because at the end of the day, AI is not replacing humans. But the humans who know how to use it, they'll replace the ones who don't. Thank you for walking through this with me. Oh man, this is episode 7 of the Unorthodox Playbook. It was about more than technology. It was about control, vision, and the quiet war that's shaping the world. If this stirred something in you, share it. Send it to someone who thinks like ChatGPT is a toy. Leave a review. Let me know what battles you're fighting in this industry. And remember, in a world racing towards automation, your mindset, your strategy is your last unfair advantage. Until next time, I'm Anthony. Stay sharp, stay bold, and as always, stay unorthodox.